I learned my lesson. I didn't carry my camera with me earlier when I fed the dogs. Which way should I go? This way? And when returning from that house, after feeding the dogs, where I'm actually staying overnight, I do overnights often for people. And after returning from their feeding and walk, a whole bunch of people streamed down this block going east. Like, I'm going west right now on Walnut between 17th and 18th. And it was like, it felt a little bit on the weird side, as if someone created a little Christmas Carol moment, like you would see it on an old New England Christmas card with someone, you know, you might as well have had people with top hats on and canes and certain types of suits and, you know, winter coats. That's how Norman Rockwell or whatever it is, Christmas Carol card. And it was a little weird. I'm like, a whole bunch of people just started streaming down Walnut Street between 18th, which is up here, and 17th, which I just came off of. So I was like, I do this, like, I'll ask up in the sky, should I go down Walnut behind all these people? Because it looks kind of weird. It came off as weird. Like, was it orchestrated? Where did all the people come from who were streaming all at the same time? And no one was in front of them and no one was in back of them. You know what I mean? And they weren't together. It wasn't like they could have been sort of handled to be around at the same time, but it was on the odd side. It wasn't like one big family walking as a group. It was like a streams. So I was like, should I go down Walnut? And the little voice in the sky said, no, go up to Sansom, which is a block that way. So on 18th here, I went that way up to Sansom. And then I headed east on Sansom towards 17th Street from 18th. This is 18th here. Also, really quick, Smallville is coming in over there. I guess it's a restaurant bar. I'm not really sure. It used to be a Barnes & Noble. They're like not directly on the corner. That's Anthropology, but right over there. And Barnes & Noble opened up a new location on Chestnut. So on the 1700 block, not the 1800 block. So they're a block north and then a block east. But anyway, so I decided to walk down Sansom instead of Walnut earlier today. And I would run into a couple people. Sadly, there's quite a few homeless on 18th Street between Walnut and Sansom and even Chestnut. For some reason, it's become like a hot spot near M&T Bank and DeBruno Brothers-ish, Hip City Veg, you know, Black Turtle Coffee, all that. Anyway, as I'm walking east on Sansom earlier, and I did not have my camera because I figured I'd take a break. It's been really quiet, and I was enjoying the day immensely because of it. So anyway, as I'm walking down Sansom, all of a sudden a big gigantic white trash truck pulled up to the corner of 17th and Sansom and just sort of parked at an angle at the edge of 17th and Sansom on the west side of 17th Street. It reminded me of a video I made earlier with the city cleanup crew guys who kind of decided to park at the end of 21st and Delancey, but on the east side, and they just sort of sat there at an angle. Also, there was a van last night that looked like it ran into a house. It didn't, but it pulled up on the sidewalk 2 doors down from where I'm staying, and it almost looked like as if the van had been in like some dramatic accident, but I think something else was going on. Like maybe someone has been moving and they decided to pull the van up. So anyway, happy Hanukkah. It started at sundown tonight, and oddly it coincides with Christmas this year. Hanukkah operates by a lunar calendar, or the Jewish calendar is a lunar calendar. And it's rare for Hanukkah to fall right on Christmas, so, and it's like an 8-night situation, so it has to do with oil in the lamp and that whole story, dreidel dreidel and so forth and so on. But that will be going on through January 2nd, and then Kwanzaa starts tomorrow. So all three of these things sort of lined up together, you know. So here's a more Jesus little torquey pistons, so the heart at the center. And anyway, so this white trash truck would approach and just sort of park oddly. It did strike me, like, I guess you could get overtime hours and work on Christmas, but in general, it could have been a private company. It didn't seem to be a city. It's hard to tell. Like, I can't, although it was, right, they usually have white trucks with, like, just the US government numbers on it. Although the city ones might have a blue seal on there somewhere. It's hard to tell, but I was like, why, who would make people work on Christmas Day in the trash world? Because there's not much going on. Like, you know, my guess is it's a private company, but it was kind of odd because it was out there at the same time as the people who were streaming on Walnut Street between 18th and 17th. And anyway, there was something odd about the whole thing, and someone made like a comment and somewhere, and I was a little bit like bent out of shape. There was an issue that also occurred earlier with an alarm at a house, and it's like, you know, nothing, you know, nary can a day occur, even on Christmas Day when usually it's quiet and everything, when things are perfect. Like, you know, most people can enjoy many days, and then maybe there's something that goes on that messes everybody up, you know, every few weeks or whatever. But it's like, maybe Christmas Day will be one of these days where I can actually enjoy the entire day without anyone doing anything that's like a scare tactic or anything that feels off. Like, what are they doing, you know? It's hard to explain. I experienced something weird in 2011. I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment the fourth Monday of January 2011 when living at 626 South 19th Street, apartment 1F. My mom and aunt's phone lines in Jacksonville, Florida were severed in time for that, so that when I tried to call my mom after those events, because it was in the wee hours of the morning and I didn't want to, I called my sister, not my mom, because I didn't want to call at like 3:34 in the morning, because they were older and a million reasons. But anyway, when I tried to call them, I got the horrifying sound of the disconnected jingle. So it sounds like a setup to me, you know what I mean? And ever since then, I've been harassed as if I exposed like the tobacco industry, the dairy industry, the beef industry. I'm like, it's totally crazy. And from all, it's, you know, I don't know how it works. Someone had to come in and sort of show me certain things from people higher up who know that the world works a certain way, just to sort of like dial it back a notch, because these people are after blood for some reason, and it's like, I didn't do anything that bad. So I've, you know, anyway, so ever since I've been harassed, and it's like a lot quieter now, but today I thought, how awesome would it be, you know, if the whole day could be peaceful and beautiful on Christmas Day. But alas, the one time that I didn't have my camera, there they were. So anyway,